So when I arrive in school every morning, I have to walk through the dining hall to get to my classroom. And in the dining room in the morning, there's always people having breakfast, and I always just walk past, but this one morning, I just really stopped and looked around. And there were people eating waffles with maple syrup, cocoa pops, strawberry milkshakes, chocolate cookies, and I swear my blood sugar levels literally just rose by looking at them. And the interesting thing is, I felt good about myself, and that's great. I thought to myself, damn, I'm proud of you, that you're not polluting your blood with sugar like these guys are. But what came next is really interesting, because it wasn't simply just that, oh, that's good, and I went on with my life. I felt slightly arrogant. How could these people be doing this? I don't do this. I'm better than them. And there was just a simple thought in my mind that made me realize that I was avoiding people because of the simple thought that they're not worth my time, I'm better than them. Why would I be friends with people like this? And friends is probably the biggest dilemma on self-improvement, because there's almost a divide. There's people saying that it's okay to be friends with people, anyone, you should just be having fun, make social interactions. Whereas there's people that say that you're the average of 5 people that you spend around with, and if you have self-respect, you wouldn't be spending time with these people. And it's a huge dilemma, and it's probably one of the most important decisions you'll end up making. You can probably relate to the self-improvement high, which is what I'm going to be referring it to as. And this is when you first start self-improvement. Your life's great, you had no meaning, but now you feel like you have a sense of purpose. You're making progress in the gym, and you're so eager, you have a sense of purpose. You want to get all your friends on self-improvement. But then this is the first time you experience loneliness. And this story is so well known, it's not even worth repeating. You try to get your friends on self-improvement, but it's like talking to a wall. But the important thing you have to realize is, it's self-improvement. You have to find it for yourself. And people sometimes say, oh, I wish someone had introduced me to self-improvement before, because then I would be so much ahead. But the thing is, no, you're only on self-improvement because you made the decision to do it. Sure, there are messengers, people who made you know about self-improvement. Maybe this was Hamza, but he's not the one that got you on self-improvement. You got yourself on self-improvement. He didn't like grab you through the screen. He was just telling the message. He was just spreading the word. And I know this is true because my parents, actually, I realized that they always tried to get me on self-improvement. They always said, you should learn how to do things that you don't want to do. And they always made me practice deep work. And they were always like, oh, the importance of just sitting down and working hard when working hard, but playing hard when playing hard. And I realized this. But the thing is, back then, when they were telling me all these kind of things, do you think that I embraced it? I was like, oh, thanks for introducing me to this. No, I actively felt myself being annoyed that they were talking about this again. And this would have been you. And this is probably your friends. Because without me discovering self-improvement for myself and me making the decision to do it, I wouldn't be on it. And as much as you think that your friends need the introduction, they don't want you talking about self-improvement to them, because it's self-improvement. They need to find it themselves. And yeah, you are the average of the 5 people you spend with. But the total population in the world, how many people do you think are actually on self-improvement? It's probably 1%, maybe even less than that. Chances that someone in your school, in your class, someone around you is on self-improvement is minuscule. So then are you going to live a lonely life? Are you not going to talk to anyone? So you're going to have to make the decision whether you're genuinely not going to be friends with someone unless they're on self-improvement. And back to if you have self-respect, you won't be friends with people who aren't on self-improvement argument. I think it's valid, but there's a difference. They're at the pinnacle of self-improvement. People like Hamza, they've achieved everything, and they are worth so much that they don't give themselves value by hanging around these kind of people, and they could network out and they could meet people that are similar to them. But at our stage, we're not there. As much as we can be arrogant and say we've made so much progress, we probably have, but we're not at that level yet. And the danger that rises with this is that you develop arrogance. You believe that you're better than everyone else just because you're on this journey. But maybe they haven't even started their journey yet. And the scariest thing is, I don't know if it's just me, but I hate that kind of person the most. The person who thinks he's better than everyone else, when in reality, he's probably not. And this is a huge conflict. It's hard to explain, but whenever we start self-improvement, we tend to feel this sort of arrogance that we're better than others, because we move forward in life with the intent to improve ourselves in all areas, whereas everyone else doesn't seem to have the same intent or drive. But maybe it's better to be in the present moment, to enjoy your time with others. Even if you have entirely different goals, or principles. Not all your conversations need to be about self-improvement, because later in life, you're going to need the life skill of knowing a wider range of people. Because sure, in an ideal world, we'll be only surrounded by people in self-improvement, but that's not the case. You're going to be around people who aren't, and just meeting a wide variety of people and talking to people, even though they might be your polar opposite, is a life skill in itself. And the best way to enjoy school and to make friends is to just be open to everything. And obviously, you have to have your own principles at heart. You have to have self-improvement at heart and not lose sight of these goals. But you'd be surprised when you see one of your classmates say something that resonates with you. I think that in the end, the biggest show of discipline and self-development is that even when you're surrounded by people who aren't on the same track as you, you're still able to be on that same track. You're still able to progress in your own area. Because sure, you're the average of the 5 people you spend time with. But what's not to say that you could be the best in that group? Because after all, it's an average of 5. Be the messenger and be the role model. Because when people see the kind of progress you're making, and you could still be a pleasant person to be around, but when they see the progress you're making and they ask you about it, that's when you can start telling them about it and spreading the message. Because in the end, it's self-improvement. You should be improving yourself before others.